Hey everyone! So, welcome back to the channel. As I mentioned on my TikTok page, I am starting something new for March. And that is to complete reading for 20 minutes a day challenge that I've been seeing go around for a very, very long time. And so, I'm going to try to do that this month. So, I'm going to be held accountable for that. So in order to do that, in order for me to achieve that goal, I am going to be reading a chapter a day or 2 chapters a day based off the length of said chapter. I want to go ahead and put a huge disclaimer that I am not the greatest at pronunciations because I do have severe dyslexia. So seeing certain words or certain letters next to one another or a certain amount of letters in a word throws me off very, very severely. And I don't understand why it does that, but it does. So for the month of March, it has 31 days. So I'm going to be reading 31 chapters in the month of March, or 2 books, or a book and a half, or a book and a piece. Who knows? I had my wife choose the book that I'm going to start off with, and it is The Bone Witch by Chupeco, and I don't know if I pronounced that right or not. But this is the book, and it's the paperback version. That's what I have, and it's really matte, and it's really pretty. It feels great in my hands, and I absolutely love it, which is a huge thing for me because I have like texture issues. That if I don't like the way something feels, I don't typically like to hold it for long periods of time. And with this book feeling amazing, that means that I'm actually going to enjoy reading it. So I'm going to start on it. And if you want to follow along, please go get your book and follow along with me. And again, really sorry if I mess up anything in this book, if I say something wrong. I don't know what to say other than that. But I'm going to start reading it. And I hope I enjoy it, and I hope everybody else enjoys it. So, here we go. So, The Bone Witch by Chupeco. And on the cover it says, "Let me be clear, I never intended to raise my brother from his grave." And on the back of the book, where the synopsis is, again, sorry, long words, can't get them out. On the back of the book, it says, "The beast raged. It punctured the air with its spite, but the girl was fiercer." So BuzzFeed left it a really good review, saying that it was exceptionally written from beginning to end. So it says, "T is different from the other witches in her family. Her gift for necromancy makes her a bone witch who are feared and ostracized in the kingdom. Ostracized in the kingdom. For theirs is a powerful elemental magic that can reach beyond the boundaries of the living and of the human. Great power comes at a price, forcing T to leave her homeland to train under the guidance of an older, wiser bone witch. There, T puts all of her energy into becoming an Asha, learning to control her elemental magic and those beasts who will submit by no other force. And T must be strong, stronger than she even believes possible, because war is brewing in the 8 kingdoms. War that will threaten the sovereignty of her homeland and threaten the very survival of those she loves." Excuse me. Lyrical and action-packed, this start of a new fantasy series by acclaimed author Chupeco will leave you breathless. I'm breathless right now, but I'm very congested. I'm finally feeling a lot better than what I have been. So, bear with me. So we're here. It says The Bone Witch, and then again. It's really pretty. You know, I read a lot of books, and some books aren't as pretty as others. So it says, dedicated to the countless bowls of ramen who have supported me throughout the writing of this book and still have continued to do so long after I was done. And also the ramen Santouka for supplying said ramen. Yeah, I can't. That one's just going to be butchered forever. The World of the Bone Witch, the 8 Kingdoms. So there's some maps, and I don't know if you'll be able to see them or not. Just in case y'all don't have the book and you're just following along. These are the maps on the first couple of pages. That's the first one. And that's the second one. They're really pretty. Really pretty. Okay. Alright. So, it doesn't say chapter 1, so I'm guessing this is the prologue. Hold on a minute. Let me make sure. Yes, it is. It's the prologue. Alright, it says, the beast raged. It punctured the air with its spite. But the girl was fiercer. She held no weapons except for the diamonds glinting like stars above her brow, against hair like a dark mass of sky. She wore no armor, save a beautiful hua of mahogany and amber spun from the masked silk, a golden dragon embroidered down its length, its body half hidden by her waist wrap. She raised her arm, and I saw nothing. But the creature saw, and its wrath gentled until it did little but whimper. Kneel, the girl ordered, and against all expectations, the Devea obeyed. It sank to its knees and bowed its head. 17, I thought. She could not be older than 17 years. 17 could explain the poetry of her face, with the skin brown and unblemished. 17 explained the pertness of her nose, the determined tilt in her chin. But 17 did not explain the oldness in her eyes, large twin pools of black from where no light could escape. The girl stood beside the fiend. It was 4 times as tall and weighed 100 tons. But it shrunk from the touch of her hand. It was an elephant-like beast, but with a hide the color of dead trees and a mouthful of teeth as large as tusks. But it did not attack. It bore fangs like knives, each canine more jagged than the next. But it was afraid. They made for a bizarre sight. The girl and the monster on the beach of ash and silt, while waves crashed against the shore and set up sprays of seawater and salt. The beast watched her with its dull white eyes. It whimpered again. The girl smiled. She stroked its misshapen jaw and leaned toward the hideous yellowing teeth as she had a secret to share. Die, she whispered. The Devea signed a relieved sound. It toppled onto its side, raised its head beseechingly at her one last time, and died. The girl rose to her feet, slipping a knife out of her sleeve. Her hand traveled past the beast's jaw and neck, searching. She paused at a spot halfway down its throat and sank her blade into the roughened flesh. Black liquid, silk as oil, and thick as congealed syrup, bubbled from the gaping wound. I turned my face away. My last meal rose in my throat, unbidden, and I forced it back down with effort. Blood and grime dripped down her fingers. From within the depths of the creature, the girl withdrew a perfectly round stone. It was as large as her hand, smooth and polished, and it glittered red, the color of giant rubies. As she did, the monster crumbled, reduced to a mountain of dust in an instant. "A Bezora," she said, for my benefit, "the mark of every Devea. This creature is called an Akvin, and its Bezora can sense all known magic, but it does not explain you here in my domain. Despite the masterful craftsmanship of her hua, there was something unusual about the dragon woven on it. Its snout was too long, and it had tusks instead of sharp teeth and whiskers. It was an imperfection. I was not accustomed to such fineries. The gown was slit on one side, and I saw the long white scar that climbed her right thigh. She made no move to hide its flaw, and stood boldly with her legs apart, so that the beaded dragon looked down to have burst out onto her dress from the puckered skin. She wore her waist wrapped loosely in defiance of tradition. Like her hua, it was black, but with chrysanthemums stitched in gilded thread. One of the great Attila's Arcaran's creations, I surmised. Intricate gold embroidery was his specialty. She wore a beautiful chain around her neck, and on it a heart-shaped pendant. I had my own heart glass of a common glossy apple red. I expected hers to be of a bright silver, a soft, swirling mist contained within the tempered glass, as expected of a Asha. Instead, it was as black as the night. The Akvan had not been the first death on that lonely shore. Bits of other bones lay scattered around the desolate beach, their skeletons remained victims of the relentless tides that sent them crashing at intervals against sharpened rocks. Large rib cages glistened despite the soot-ridden light. Empty skulls gaped back at me, silent and accusing. The girl turned to face me, and I saw the grave behind her for the first time. It was a slab of headstone lying on the only patch of grass that flourished in the otherwise barren landscape of sand. It bore no inscription, and I wondered who lay buried within, whom she mourned. "They call you Tea of the Embers," I said. She said nothing and waited. "I collect stories," I continued. "I was born in Drax, but was banished when I came of age for my free-thinking ways and for singing against the tyrant kings. Since then, I have made my living on tales and ballads. I have seen with my own eyes the endless wars excuse me, of the Yadosha city-states. I have broken bread with the reindeer people and have danced with the Gorvekan tribes of the Eastern steppes. I have seen princes poisoned. I have watched the faceless follower hanged, and have survived in a city that's been swept out to sea. My name is known in many places. My reputation is more than modest. But I know very little of the workings of the Asha. I know of their dances and of their weapons and of their legends, but not of their quarrels and their gossip and their loves. And until today, I have never seen one slay a Devea." She laughed. It sounded bitter. "I am no longer an Asha bard. They are beloved by the people, and I am not. My exile here at the end of the world is proof of that. They have another name for those like me. They call me a bone witch. It suits me better. But I have no need of you, and you are in my way. Give me one reason why I should not cut you down where you stand." I am used to pleading for my life, and so I said, "You are an Asha, and you must know how to discern truth from lies. Put me to the test." The girl moved closer, but within the folds of her hua, she took out another stone and placed it in my hand. I was no magic adept, but even I could feel the strength of the spells woven into her dress, though I did not know what they enhanced. Her beauty, which such magic was commonly used for, or her power, which it was formidable enough without them. "If you speak the truth, it will flare brighter blue," she said. "Tell me lies, and it will shine the darkest black. Choose your words carefully, bard." I had a dream. I saw a bright blue moon in the sky. I followed it across the clouds until it shone over a great empty beach littered with bones of sea monsters of old. On it stood a young girl with her hands stained with blood, but who promised me a tale beyond anything I could ever imagine. If there is one thing people desire more than a good story, she said, it is when they speak their own. When I woke, I saw that same moon, as blue and as real as you and I, looking down. I trusted my instincts and followed the road the way it had been mapped out for me in my dream. It is here I find that same beach and that same girl. I have heard all the tales they speak of you. It would be my honor to hear yours. Give me leave to sing your story, and I will do it justice. The waves lapped at the shore, vultures circled overhead. The sapphire in my hand shone the purest blue. She broke the silence with more laughter, the stillness shattering at the sound. You are confident and curious. Some would say that it is not always a healthy combination. She took back the bezoar and turned away. I leave in 7 days. I will give you until then. I followed her, my heart's glass heavy with questions. Of everything I have heard, I had not expected her to be so young. 17 did not explain why she stood that strange grayish beach, alone with monsters' corpses for company. Wow, okay. That sounds really interesting. So I'm going to stop there for right now. I have something to drink, so I'm going to drink some of that. Again, like I said, I have been trying to get over a sickness. So, excuse me for 1 second. While I do that. Is he okay? Oh, never mind. Apparently, she has already taken him and walked out of the room. So, what are your thoughts so far? That was just the prelude. That was just the, like, appetizer. I wouldn't even really call it appetizer. It wasn't quite long enough for an appetizer, in my opinion. But, oh, it has me wanting to read more. I'm extremely excited to see what is in store for us. And, I'm excited to hear y'all's thoughts on it, so please leave a comment below. Again, I'm so sorry. I'm not the greatest at pronouncing words, and I know I have pieces where I'm like really slow at reading, and then pieces where I'm really fast at reading, and I'm sorry that I'm not the most consistent. I do not get paid like some people do to do audiobooks, but I figured it'd be really fun to do with y'all if y'all are really interested. Again, if you enjoyed it so far, come back and listen to chapter 1 as I read it. And again, please leave your comments below. And try not to ridicule me too much on mispronunciations. I'm really bad at those. Thank you, and hope to see you in our next video.